Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chris O Show, wherever you're listening, if it's on MuskokaUnlimited.com or one of the other channels. We are on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're everywhere. Sometimes we're even on local news stations like Your TV Muskoka or Hunters Bay Radio. So you'll find us when you find us. Thank you for tuning in, all. And today I have two awesome guests, two people I've known a long time who are wonderful, wonderful people in our community. Blair and Deanna, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And they're representing today Enliven Muskoka. And specifically, we're going to talk about this awesome upcoming healing and wellness fair that is on, you'll tell me what day.
May 2nd in Bracebridge from 1 to 6.
Perfect. And where is it being held at in Bracebridge?
The Legion in Bracebridge.
The Legion in Bracebridge. Awesome. And so is this the first healing fair that you guys have done? Or I thought you did one last year. I can't remember.
Yeah, so this is actually our sixth
Oh,
this fair. Yeah,
wow.
so it has been done in Huntsville in the past
Yeah.
over Zoom, certain years as well. And then this is our first year in Bracebridge. So we're excited to kind of expand further into Muskoka.
No, and that's fabulous. And Enliven is about like all of Muskoka, not just Huntsville, and helping people everywhere, which is why it's great that you're expanding into Bracebridge this year. In terms of the fair, why is it an important event for you guys to hold?
I think it brings awareness to Enliven Cancer Care, but also to provide information to our members and people in the community that we have support locally for those in need. And having it in Bracebridge will allow us to show the Bracebridge community that there are local supports that they can go to for help, as well as the programs that Enliven Cancer Care has as well. Blair?
Yeah, and I think we bring together such a wide variety of resources for people that they may not have even known were in the community or thought about as a cancer support. So it could be anything from massage, to other cancer supports like the Abbey Retreat Center's coming. Even Hope Arises is actually joining us. So it's a wide variety of resources that people may not have known about.
Awesome.
And it's free. It's free.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and it's free. It's free for everyone in the community to come.
Yeah, no, and that's awesome. And so in regards to the people, like the vendors, we'll call them vendors for lack of a better word, because some people are just there to kind of share knowledge and just offer their services that are not for profit services, obviously, right? With them, how do you reach out? Do they reach out to you? Do you just put it out there? Is there space for other people to come and join? How does that happen?
Yeah, so we do have a couple more spaces that are available. So they could reach out to me directly. So the Enliven email, so info@enlivenmuskoka.ca.
Perfect.
And then we would get them set up to be an exhibitor for the fair. And yeah, there are a couple spaces left. So we would love if there are some more resources in the community that would love to join us. We would love to have you.
Awesome. And is there a cost for people to be an exhibitor, or is it free as long as they're offering a service that matches up with your missions and goals?
So there is a $40 fee per table. And then if there is a discount available for not-for-profit organizations.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
We're trying to cover our costs of rental of the space and any other advertising costs that we may have for the fair.
Yeah. So it's just covering costs. That's what the fee is for, which makes sense because you're trying to offer a service to the community. And I know Enliven's not for profit. I'll put links to my other Enliven chats that we had last year. So everybody, when I do the posts, so that people can listen to this one, and then if they want to learn more, they can listen to other ones. And I'll put your email up, Blair, and everything for people to be able to touch base. So that's good. In regards to some of the good works you guys are doing, what are some of the programs ongoing year round that people can take advantage of, or shouldn't say take advantage of, but use to get support?
We have ongoing Soup for the Soul, which has been virtual in the most recent times. We've had a really good run of wellness, movement for wellness
Yep.
with a grant that we received from Ontario or from Hydro One. And
Nice.
it was NIA yoga and exercise classes in both Bracebridge and Huntsville. And we're going to try to continue those. It might be on a different scale and in different locations, but we are going to try and maintain some movement. We also have in the works, what do we have in the works, Blair?
There's also currently, so just to be clear, so Soup for the Soul is like a peer support group that meets twice a month on Zoom. So the second and fourth Tuesday of every month. And so that's open for anyone going through the cancer journey, whether it's a caregiver or someone going through the journey themselves. We also have a meditation course that's currently running in Huntsville.
Oh, nice.
Has started, but that one's running. Like Deanna said, we have all of our movement courses coming in the fall again, fingers crossed. We just released a yoga course that's running in May into June. But it filled up within 7 hours of us getting it out there because that's how much it's needed. And then we have some other things kind of hopefully in the works with art therapy, writing workshops and stuff along those lines. We're just trying to generate the funding and secure all of that. Yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, like you guys do a ton of good work, and obviously I know about that. It's just nice to tell everybody what else is out there for them. And the support is really important. We've all gone through, or I say we all, but I think the majority of people I've ever met have either had a loved one lost or a friend, or we've all lost people. And so, especially for cancer, I've lost several to cancer over the years. And so I think that, it's really important what you're doing. I think that the more and more that people can help and volunteer their time to help give programs, because for people who are listening or watching or wherever you're doing, Enliven is a not-for-profit. They don't get government funding. Their only fundings, they'll get a grant, like for the movement grant, but the majority of their funding comes from fundraising and people and businesses donating, as well as people donating their time to help run some of these programs and volunteer their time to do that. Just like I volunteer to be a soccer coach, you can volunteer to be a NIA or a yoga coach, right? So those kinds of things. And so I like getting that out there for if someone's listening, they might think I can help and I want to help. So it's good to let them know. And so the other thing I was going to say, is there any fundraisers coming up? Because it was on that fundraising note I was thinking. Are there any fundraisers coming up that people can help support?
Absolutely. So we have a golf tournament coming up. So it's called Golf for the Girls. It's June 21st at Deerhurst, the Lakeside course. So we are still accepting sponsors for that. The tickets have been sold out for quite a while. There may be some just lunchtime tickets left if you wanted to get involved that way. And we're still looking for prizes and raffle items. And like I said, business sponsors, if there's interest, you can find all the information on our website.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll put the link to the website so people have an easy link to get there. But yeah, I thought I heard about the golf tournament, so I was like, I better double check. And but it's sold out, which is fantastic. I love that. But still, other people go for lunch, get lunch tickets, and if you're a business, sponsor a prize and sponsor a hole or whatever sponsorships are available there. Other than that, what are some of the things that maybe are frequently asked questions that you get about Enliven that you'd like to share with the community?
I think one of the main things is just always about the cost of our programming. So that's a question I get often, but all of our programming, it's really important to us that we keep all of that free for people to ensure that there's no barrier for them to access our programs. So it's important that we do continue, like you mentioned, to get funding throughout the community. And that our programs are open to anyone kind of on the journey. So it could be you just were recently diagnosed to maybe it was, you had cancer 5 years ago. So there's a large range there. And then of course it's open to caregivers as well. So that's a question we get often. So if you're a caregiver of someone going through cancer, then you would have access to our programs as well.
Awesome. Awesome. That's good news. Deanna, is there anything you want to add to that, like from a board perspective?
As far as questions go, I think we also are, we're getting some peer support training
Oh,
and hoping to build a peer support network and program into our support services. It will be up and running in the future. We're just, we're training some volunteers, we're training some board members, and then we have to develop our, our procedures and how we're going to go about it. But I think that will be one thing that we haven't been able to offer as much of in the past
okay.
is that peer support. And we do have, we have tried some counseling services and some other supports, but I think the peer support, so people can relate a little better to each other.
Yeah.
And know that there's other people going through that journey that they can talk to.
I like that. That's awesome. And you know what? I think that's important. Is just being able to talk to people. And so, and just saying like, I'm here for you and I've been through a bit of this and I know we lost several people last year. And so it was nice having everyone that had been through it together and everybody talking to each other and then offering to the other people we're there to help. Right. And so I think that peer support is a huge thing.
And I think getting the word out that Enliven Cancer Care is in our community is big. And I mean, my thought would be that it's where people seek some information when they are diagnosed or a caregiver with a recently loved one that's diagnosed, that they reach out to Enliven Cancer Care, and then we can direct them either website resources, because we have some resources on our website as well for local and virtual services in our community, that we have that ability to support people that are looking for information, and they're not alone, and if they're in need.
Awesome.
Blair, you were going to add?
I was just going to mention one more program that we didn't touch on, which is the cancer treatment comfort kits.
Oh,
this is a fairly new initiative, and so they're comfort kits that we've created through different donations in the community. And so anyone that's currently going through treatment can contact us and we will get a comfort kit to you. So there's different items in there that might be useful depending on what sort of treatment you're going through.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
So you guys are like you're like trying to be, help everybody. And I love
Pretty
that.
much.
And we've had questions, can we have these programs in our other communities? We're trying Bracebridge with the wellness fair and other communities. We're going to try and get some stuff in Gravenhurst. The challenge is spreading far and wide and having the resources to do so. So do we have those community supports? Because for people to travel that far is difficult. One, it's important that we can offer certain things virtually. So I know even yoga that's being recently offered in town here, we do have some virtual spots available to increase that expansion. But it is a challenge to get to all the communities, even though we are trying. We are open to people joining us from all of Muskoka.
Yes.
And I know even Aurelia, people have come from other communities when it's virtual.
Okay.
But it can be a challenge. So if there's other resources in other communities, Port Carling, Bala, Port Sydney, and North even, they can reach out to us, and if there's ways that we can maybe offer programming in different areas, that would be valuable as well.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And which adds on to what I was saying about volunteers and people stepping up and saying, hey, I'll help, and I'll help facilitate, and I'll help organize, and I'll help put this together in my community if you can give me some supports and some knowledge and some education to share, right? And so yeah, I think that's a great point to make, and people out there should step up. It's great service is what you offer, and much needed. And like you said, there's people virtually that will join even from Aurelia when it's virtual. So the closer we can get to everybody, and the closer you can get those programs to everybody, they can come in person and feel that, because we all know there's a lot more love and vibes and good vibes and healing vibes when you're in person, right? So
for sure.
Awesome. I was trying to think if there's anything else, but I think we covered a lot of bases.
I will just mention that next Wednesday, we are taking part with the Muskoka seniors they're doing a volunteer event. And they've invited different organizations throughout the community. So
Nice.
from 10 to 2 at the Algonquin Theater.
Okay,
So if
perfect.
anyone is interested in volunteering with Enliven and has questions, I will be there with another one of the board members to answer any questions.
And what's that date? It's April
The
what?
17th,
17th. Okay,
Wednesday, the
perfect.
17th from 10 to 2.
From 10 to 2. Perfect. And that's you're joining the Muskoka seniors, kind of what's
Yes.
happening there. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Well, if that's it, if you guys are good, unless you wanted to add anything else before we go.
No, just join us at the Wellness Fair, May 2nd,
Yeah.
1 to 6, Bracebridge Legion.
Yeah, and still room for a couple exhibitors if you want to touch
Yes.
base. And I'll have all the links on the online post on my website, so it's easy peasy for everybody to find. They can just link to it and rock and roll from there.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Blair.
much.
Thanks, Deanna. Bye for now.
Have
See
a
you,
great day.
everybody.